The last few days we have talked about what is going to be releasing on the Xbox platform, what's going to be releasing on the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation platform. And now I want to talk about games that are coming out to basically everything. Before we get into it, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when these videos go live. I'm going to get into it right now. All right, so thank you everybody for watching. Real quick, the first game we're going to start talking about is Dying Light. Dying Light is a game that has been teased for seemingly forever, and we still haven't had a release date. But we now know that it should be slated for February 4th. So February seems to be the month where things are really going to start kicking off in terms of game releases. There's a ton of stuff coming out. And if we go down the full list, it includes Dying Light 2, Sifu, Lost Ark, PC exclusive, Horizon, Forbidden West, and a few other entries that I'll talk about here on the list. But lots of games coming out in February. It is chock full of good stuff. One of those is Dying Light. Dying Light 1 was hugely popular. Dying Light 2 is going to have some sort of faction system. You're going to be able to traverse this big open world and get to experience these fights with not only humans, but also with the zombie aspect, especially during nighttime. It's going to be interesting to see how they develop this story further and where they take this series going forward. The traversal mechanics look great. Gameplay is looking good, and I can't wait to play it. The next one on my list is one that's probably not going to be that surprising if you've ever followed any of my other production work in the past, but that is, you probably guessed it already, but it's Destiny 2 Witch Queen. So Destiny 2 Witch Queen is hitting on February 22nd. It is the next big story expansion to the game. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, my current Destiny state has been I'm sort of bored, honestly. I don't really feel like there's a lot happening, and I realize that when I don't have something narrative pushing me forward in the game, I largely don't have a lot of incentivization to be chasing the new weapons and gear, just for me personally. So I am very, very excited about Witch Queen because it is going to finally continue the story that we have largely been left waiting to hear more about over the past several months, as we get the 30th anniversary, which is basically just grinding to get all the new weapons and armor. And then what else did we have? Whatever was before that, just the events and such that they did during the holiday season. So Witch Queen is looking to introduce new areas, new weapons like the glaive, and I can't wait to get back into Destiny again. Excited to have some new story content finally after a long hiatus, coming again on, what's the date here I have written down? February 22nd, everybody. We also have Elden Ring. Elden Ring is the next one on my list. This one I'm probably actually going to get really into. I've always really liked the From Software games, and we've gotten a brief look at what to expect from gameplay. Miyazaki, George R.R. Martin have partnered on this, though the amount of involvement from George R.R. Martin has been questionable. Let's get to the actual gameplay here. So you have a horse. You're able to traverse this world. And of course, lots of difficult things to fight. I'm very curious how the horse is going to change what we expect from Software Worlds. It does look like there's horse-to-horse combat. Like, are you going to be at a severe disadvantage if you get off your horse? How are you going to be able to combat those other people? I haven't read any of this stuff from people who actually got to play, but there have been some closed gameplay sessions. I'm excited to dive into this world, play more Elden Ring. It's probably going to be one of the most popular games of the year. Gamers have been talking about it nonstop, basically since the teaser trailer was shown, and people are quite excited about Elden Ring coming this 2022. It's actually hitting on February 25th. So another February game rounding out the full February list. It's Dying Light 2, Sifu, Lost Ark, Horizon, Destiny 2, Witch Queen, and Elden Ring. And those are just the games I'm excited about. That doesn't include probably everything else that's coming out in that month. This is a cross-platform video, so I'm trying to keep it focused on games that are coming to multiple platforms, both Xbox, PlayStation, and others. And the next one on my list is Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It's basically Borderlands. The more that I watch of the gameplay and everything, it's a little confusing because they I think they did themselves a disservice about how they were marketing it, because they made it seem like it wasn't like Borderlands, but then you see the gameplay and you're like, it is exactly like Borderlands. It's all about getting a lot of loot, shooting stuff, and getting gear. This seems like their mid-entry. They like to do this like they did the prequel for Borderlands not that long ago, and then they did Borderlands 3 after that. Borderlands 3, I of course I went through the main campaign, and then I think I started a second game where you get the higher tier gear. But yeah, I had a good time with playing through it once, and that was enough for me. Just chasing loot without a good narrative hook, or at least like a funny story. I think I'm finally have broken the spell on those games, but I will definitely give Tiny Tina's Wonderland at least one go through before I become ultra powerful and then just don't want to grind for loot anymore. What else do we have on the list here? This one's going to be a little bit controversial. It's more one that personally I'm going to give a chance, because I really want to come to my own conclusion when I think about the game. It's Saints Row. Saints Row, ever since their premiere trailer, has drawn a lot of criticism. People are really concerned that it's departing too far from the original formula. It's going to be too different. It's not wacky enough. Everything that I saw in the gameplay trailer indicates that it's going to be just fine. This one is hitting on, so March 25th for Tiny Tina, and then we jump all the way to August for Saints Row for confirmed third-party releases, games that are going to come out on everything. I have to wonder if by August, September, if things are going to get a lot more crowded. One of the games on my list is actually Destiny 2 Lightfall, which is supposed to be 2022 still, I believe. So this fall we would be having Saints Row up against Destiny, and I'm going to play Destiny. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this reset for the Saints Row franchise does. But that is one coming later this year. Let me know what you think about Saints Row. It's been a little contentious in the comments below. So rounding out the dates, here's everything that we know for dates. I have them written down over here. We have the God of War PC port. We have the Uncharted game coming that I'm not as excited about. These are things that I'm mostly stoked for. God of War on PC on January 14th. February 4th, Dying Light 2. That one I'm medium temperature on. February 8th, Sifu. February 11th, Lost Ark. February 18th, Horizon. February 22nd, Destiny 2. February 25th, Elden Ring. March 4th, Gran Turismo 7. March 16th, Tunic. March 25th, Tiny Tina's Wonderland. April 28th, Stalker 2. May 24th, Forspoken. August 23rd, Saints Row, and November 11th, Starfield. Now, I've already made the Xbox and PlayStation specific videos. Let me just look at those lists and see if there's anything that I missed. Maybe Forspoken on May 25th. I don't know if I said that one. And then, I don't know where I put my Xbox list, but lots of Xbox stuff coming out also. Oh, Crossfire X in February. I'm less excited about that one after having played the few campaign missions. Stalker 2, April 28th, Scorn in October, and Redfall is slated for 2022. Looking at the full list, now there's a bunch of games that don't have confirmed dates. So I'm going to talk about those, but realize these are slated for 2022. They could get pushed, but as of now, they do not have confirmed dates. The first is one you're not going to want to sleep on. It is A Plague Tale Requiem. You should go out now and play through A Plague Tale, the original game, while you have the opportunity to before this next entry into the series is delivered. I still have this on my to play list, but I am excited about the sequel, and I have plenty of time because there's no date slated with it. It has to do with the rats, and I played through the intro of the original Plague Tale, and it involves these two characters basically relying on each other for survival, and the sequel looks like it's taking everything to the next level. The game surprisingly holds up on Xbox, on PC, wherever you want to play it. Xbox got a bunch of enhancements, but it is available everywhere, so check out A Plague Tale while you have a chance. The next one was, it seemed like it was advertised as an Xbox exclusive, but looking on the Game Informer list, it says it's coming to everything, which I didn't realize, but that is Bright Memory Infinite. Bright Memory Infinite had a PC release date trailer not that long ago. And if we can actually get into combat here in the trailer pretty soon, based on the Bright Memory demo that you can play right now on Steam, or maybe it's a game that you have to pay for, but the combat is really, really, really good. It's basically a first-person Devil May Cry style combat game. And the combat is really what makes this interesting. It's not the story, it's the gameplay. The gameplay is just really, really strong. And I'm really, really excited to see how this one ends up playing when everything is said and done, because based on what we've had this far, it continually builds off of the mechanics that you learn throughout the game. And I'm really excited to see what they do with Bright Memory Infinite. Check it out. The PC release was supposed to be on November 11th, 2021. So I'm a little behind the times, but that one is coming to console. I just want to give it another shout out. And again, I may have mentioned it earlier. This is a fan-made title screen that I saw, but it's Destiny 2 Lightfall. I don't want to put it up there too long, actually, because I don't want to get flagged for... I realize I probably shouldn't use that asset because it's fan-made. But yeah, so Destiny 2 Lightfall is coming right around the corner. Sometime in 2022. No dates confirmed. This one I'm really excited about. This is Gotham Knights. So Gotham Knights being teased. Bruce Wayne is gone, and you're actually playing as the other characters. Let's actually get to the... Where's the gameplay? I know there's gameplay in this trailer. Half of it's just Bruce Wayne talking. Here we go. So you play as, you know, Robin, Batwoman, or Batgirl. I don't remember which iteration of the Bat family of ladies she is. I think it's Batwoman, right? Anyway, whatever. So there's Robin, there's Nightwing, there is Batwoman, and there is... Who's the other character? Red Hood. And Red Hood uses guns. There she is. She's actually my... she's the closest to Batman, so she is the character that I'm probably going to play through the most. I think... Okay, so I'm trying to remember where we're at, like there's so many different versions of Batgirl and Batwoman, because there is the Batgirl who has like the mask over where it's covering her mouth. And I really, really like that storyline. There's the Barbara Gordon version of Batwoman. I think this is the Barbara Gordon version, but then Barbara Gordon also became Oracle. And I believe that's canon. If this is a part of the Batman series of video games, let me know in the comments, because I'm a little, I apologize for not doing my research before recording. And then Red Hood he uses guns. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. I like the duo takedowns. I like the combat mechanics. And there's a lot of these DC games coming out that are going to allow you to play from different perspectives. And of course I love Robin. Like Robin's pretty cool also, but it's neat to see that you're not playing as Batman, you're playing as these other characters, and I can't wait to see how they step up to the plate with Batman basically out of commission for the time being in this one. Gotham Knights has me really excited. On the Marvel side of things, you're probably not gonna like me for this one, but I don't care. Midnight Suns, Marvel Midnight Suns is actually a game I'm quite excited about. When I was a kid, I used to play this game, Marvel Overpower, and it is a card-based combat game from the team at Firaxis, the team that brought us XCOM. And the XCOM games are a lot of fun, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that Marvel Midnight Suns is going to be a great game, or at least fun, if you can get past the idea that it is a card battler. I think the problem is card battlers have been associated with mobile for so long that they have a negative connotation to them. I'm still stoked for it. If they manage to nail the storytelling, if they manage to have some fun gameplay, I'm down to play it. But I'm also a sucker for comic book games. I grew up in an era where, you know, my dad and I would rent NES X-Men, and it's just this awful piece of trash. So the fact that it's a card battler, to me, I'm like, I feel like I can forgive this. This like isn't awful, and it reminds me of Overpower, so I have these other thoughts about it. I think it's going to be a fine game. The other one that sort of surprised me, and this is one I didn't think I would normally say, it is Sonic Frontiers. So Sonic Frontiers looks like they're taking inspiration from that YouTuber or content creator who took a Sonic and allowed him to run in these big open worlds. And the response to it was like, wow, this looks like an awesome Sonic game. And when they show these areas where Sonic is going to be running, he is going to be running in these larger open spaces where you can kind of do whatever you want. And that's exciting for a Sonic fan. It's like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Sonic, right? So imagine running as fast as you can across all these big open areas, getting to explore and find collectibles, fighting Dr. Robotnik, fighting the robots. I'm stoked to see what that has in store for us. I didn't mean to make this video this long. It's just like I just listed out the stuff that I'm excited for. So apologies there. This one caught me off guard. I did not think I would be into this at all. I was wrong. And let's just keep going. But it is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is one I swear to you I had written off. I just was like so lukewarm on it. And it wasn't until I saw the gameplay trailer where they actually showed how the characters would be working together to use their unique abilities. They don't have like superpowers or anything, but they all have a little bit of a different style when it comes to how they can fight. One of them can fly. Boomerang can run really, really fast. The shark guy is basically like the Hulk from Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. And Harley is sort of like Spider-Man. She's able to sort of zip around and fly around. So I'm like, okay, you've given them enough of an edge where I can see, okay, if they work together, maybe they can stop the superheroes. Of course, it's a DC game. They're not going to let anybody die. At least I don't think they will, because Brainiac's controlling the good guys. So I have to imagine they're going to free the good guys. Oh God. Okay. That guy, I guess that guy died. I hadn't watched this trailer yet. Yeah, but, this one caught me off guard. It looks fun. It looks funny. And, I honestly was surprised by it. So I am down for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. One you've probably had on your mind, but maybe you forgot about, was the Callisto Protocol. Now, the Callisto Protocol is a bit of a weird one and a tough pill to swallow. It takes place in the PUBG universe, but the Callisto Protocol is made by the former Dead Space team, the team that brought you Dead Space, basically. So the idea that we're getting a new Dead Space type game that takes place in some sort of prison or wherever, made by that team, has me all in. The world building that they've done this far is just intriguing enough where I'm excited. And this is all CG, but it looks scary as heck. So if you're into scary games, I would definitely not sleep on this one. Hopefully it hits that 2022 release date, but who knows? I'm gonna cut away because the scary part's coming up. I'll save the best one for last. The next one I am very interested in, and it is coming to basically everything. I'll just set it here. For some reason, they're defaulting to like 480p on these trailers. Trek to Yomi looks gorgeous. I'm really, really excited about this one. It wasn't really well advertised in my opinion, but I like the black and white aspect. The combat looks really, really good. It reminds me of like old school games where you're going to have these sort of side-scrolling combat action. And I love the Kurosawa style look that it has going for it. It reminds me of Limbo, but like with a story. And I just think Trek to Yomi is going to be a really, really good game that a lot of people might not hear about. So I keep talking about it every time I get a chance. So this is, again, it's coming to, what do I have written down? PS5, Xbox, and the previous gen consoles. It's obviously not like a graphically intensive game, but it's definitely one that a lot of people, you should just check it out. Just give it a chance. It's from Devolver Digital. It's coming to everything as far as I know, and you don't want to sleep on it for sure. And the last one, it's a little game. I don't know if you're going to know the name of it or not. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, but it's the sequel to A Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda. So the Breath of the Wild sequel is slated for 2022 currently. Time will tell if that actually happens, but I do think that this game will be just as good as the previous Legend of Zelda. We haven't gotten much about the game. We don't know what it's going to entail, but it does look to have a lot of the mechanics that we had from the previous games. A lot of people have been hinting that this is going to be tied to some sort of new Switch release. I don't think that's true. It seems like Nintendo is just fine with their Switch for now. They've said like they've always played their own game when it comes to the game market. And while they were the number one seller for like 33 months in a row, so they're clearly doing something right. And I can't wait to see what happens with Ganon, what happens with Link, what is going on in this world. The Legend of Zelda games, I don't think they've ever disappointed, so I can't imagine this will either. And that was my list. This video was not meant to be a 20-minute long video when I started it, but there's way more coming out than I realized. So thank you for joining me. Let me know if I missed anything. I think those are like the games for 2022 that I'm excited about. And it's part of the reason why I think 2022 is going to be such an amazing year. But let me know if I missed anything that you're excited for. And hey, while I have you, if you like these videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when they go live. Seriously, did not mean to go 20 minutes. If you want to become a member, thank you so much to the members so far. But if you want to become a member, you can click that join button, or if you want to renew, probably just click that join button. It's right down there, right below each of the videos. Thank you so much, everybody who has become a member thus far. I appreciate you. I am going to get out of here, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.